Earlier you saw the video on how to set up database mirroring, but of course there's more to database mirroring than that. I think there are two things that you, in this first part of database mirroring, need to know. And one of them is, if I click here and go to properties, click mirroring. Oh, I can see my mouse is flickering a little bit. I'm sorry about that. What you can see here is that we have so-called operational modes. And let's try to go in again. Sorry. Let's see what we have. As you might see, the operational modes, and we have 3 modes, and one of them is disabled. That's more due to, if you ask me, it's more due to a bad user interface from Microsoft, because they might as well all have been highlighted. Otherwise, you should, I don't know what, forget that. It's not important, but you have 3 modes, and that's important. You have high performance and you have high safety, and these two are equal to each other. The only difference is that this is with automatic failover. So in principle we are talking about 2 types of operating mode: high performance or high safety. Let me try to see. I've created 2 PowerPoints for you very shortly, and let's try to talk about it. The first PowerPoint you can see here, we are talking about high performance, and what you see is that now this user wants to insert a new record in the payment DB. The user inserts in the principal DB and basically gets feedback: okay, everything is ready, you don't need to worry about anything else, you can continue with the task you're doing. So it's very fast, and the user can continue. Then after that, actually the SQL server decides how to write the information to the mirror, and that is done asynchronously. That means that the user is already way ahead, or he's finished with the task, and he has received the feedback that now everything is stored in the database. So first the user inserts a row, he gets a feedback, and then after that everything is written to the database. So this is fast, and therefore it's called high performance. However, what we want is this one. User A is inserting something to the principal. The principal inserts it in the mirror. The mirror gives feedback to the principal that everything is okay, and then the user gets a feedback from principal, everything is okay. Please, this is not a theoretically correct way to show it, it's more that so that you understand it. This one is the safe mode. That means that if I have committed a change to this database, then I'm sure that it's also there. There's no data loss. In this situation, there might be a data loss. So what do you expect, or what do you prefer? It depends on the situation, but often, if it's possible, then use high safety. It depends on a lot of factors. Then we have, if we go back in the SQL server again, then we have one where we could say without automatic failover and one with automatic failover. And the difference is very easy. It's this setup. We have high safety. You insert something in principal, the principal inserts in the mirror gives feedback to the principal, everything is okay, and the user gets a feedback. With automatically failover, then we simply have a server that is monitoring these 2 databases. It is called a witness server, and if this one goes offline, then it can make this one a principal server automatically. That's the benefit of having a witness server. Automatically failover requires an extra server. It requires a witness server. But basically, this one and this one are equal, except that this one can do an automatic failover. So we have 3 operational modes: high performance, high safety without automatically failover, high safety with automatic failover. Great. Then what we see is actually that the servers are talking to each other using TCP, and they have a port number. But what they actually are doing is that they are talking to an endpoint. That means that the SQL Server instance here is not talking directly to this instance here, and this instance is not talking to directly to this instance, and so on. What happens is that on this server we have a, try to see I just have a problem here with my mouse. Hide all this. There it is. We have server objects, we have endpoints, and if I click here, then we have some special endpoint called database mirroring. And you can see that I have an endpoint called mirroring. And if I look at the SQL Server 2, I have one more, and I also have one on the SQL one. I right click this one, and I script the endpoints to a query window. And here you can see what the next wizard gets set up for you. So when you went into properties, and you chose mirroring, and you configured security, then the three windows you were working in ended up with these endpoints. It's very easy. You have some create endpoints, you give it a name, and don't call it principal on one server and mirror on another server, because if you switch roles, then the name is not correct. It doesn't matter if it's working and there's no problem, but basically the name is not corresponding to what is actually happening. The state started, and we have as TCP, and we have a listener port, and we have listener IP as everyone. The interesting part is this one. Say it's for database mirroring first, but the interesting part is role is partner. And no matter if you are a principal or you are a mirror, then the role is partner. But if you are a witness, look, try to right click, go to the query window, then you can see you have another role called witness. And of course you can encrypt the traffic. So what we know now is that what we set up before was endpoints, and this instance is actually talking to this instance by using an endpoint. So it's not instance 3 talking to instance 2, it's endpoint 1 talking to endpoint 2.